We're trash Baguette, we're not very good, but that's your problem, not ours. Go! They're on the call and tell us all about this escapism from problem that I'll be on control. I couldn't tell me all like that from the slipper circumstances and the sentence lead up to my soul. Maximum Underdrive, my time for months in the sewer. Maximum Underdrive, full speed ahead, father.
What's up, guys? We're Trash Baguette. We make songs.
We do make songs.
Loosely speaking. We've been around for a while, but we haven't been very productive.
It's been hard to be productive, you know.
Yeah.
Certain circumstances prevent.
There's also the whole pandemonium.
Pandemonium, pandas.
Panda bear.
Yeah, lots of pandas.
Panini bread.
Yeah, what like panini bread actually.
So we played our first show like back pretty recently. We're pretty rusty right now. So we're hopefully not going to take quite so long to get our second release out.
I think we got material.
We're already working on it, sort of.
Yeah.
Or at least we're telling people we are.
Yeah.
Because that way we feel like pressured to do it. So we don't disappoint people more than we already do.
I don't know, I can't help you there. I don't know what any of your songs are about.
I don't either, that's the problem.
And it's kind of like the method to the madness, right? It just comes to you.
It's just madness, there's no method.
Blighthouse was about like stop blindly following stupid things.
Yeah.
Like just in general. I feel like if I
Yeah.
write something vague enough, like
ended up
it'll
being
imply,
prescient.
it'll be
Yeah.
like relevant.
That's
like,
extra relevant
if you don't
now.
know what to write about, just write something vague.
Right, because like most of these songs, like most of the songs that we play, we wrote before the pandemic, except for Death Machine, obviously, because that
Right.
references it a lot. But like, and we started recording like right as everything was like falling apart, and then it took a really long time to finish it. But yeah, songs like Blighthouse and stuff actually do like are very
Right.
relevant to
and
it.
then,
I feel like that
I
worked
think
out.
our Meaningless Lie, which you didn't play in this set, but
Right, because we haven't recorded it yet.
that one was about like I don't know, like it was actually the first time I had voted that year, and I just felt like I
Mhm.
did my job, but like I can't.
Didn't help.
I did what I could. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the message of this song is like
Mhm.
do what you can,
Right.
make what you have work,
Mhm.
and like hope it works out.
growing up, my actual like introduction to punk was my sister. She was pretty punk, and she actually had like a 3-piece with, and it was interesting because at the time in the 90s, it was like 3 girls in a punk band, and like at the
3
time
girls,
of,
1.
yeah,
1.5 cups.
3 girls and 1.5 drum set. But you know, that's really where the punk influence for me came from. But I can't pretend that I was like super immersed in it. It was just like I knew about Religion, NoFX, the Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, and it was kind of like, I guess, what was already mainstream at the time that, you know,
Right,
was
it's like
hitting its
punk
peak.
revival.
Yeah,
Because
punk revival.
the first I ever heard like punk in general was Rancid. They played on Saturday Night Live.
Dude,
it must have been like 7 or 8 or something, and they played Ruby Soho and Roots Radicals, and I was like, what is that? That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then like I followed that trail, and like there was this girl in one of my classes, and she had like bright red or orange like hair, like kind of in a mohawk, and I was like, I'm gonna find out what you listen to and listen to it. And of course, she just listened to a bunch of like Gigi Allen, a bunch of like,
all the people,
of all the things.
Jesus.
But to hear as like a 13-year-old kid who's all like, "Hey, I want to get into what's cool."
Here we go! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Yeah, so like the album Nasty Poor British and Short, it's a reference to Hobbes, which was kind of like, I think he said like life without government, but I think of it more of as like life without society. That if like people don't work together, like for example, people die really quickly if you just drop them off in the woods somewhere, and the whole like, you know, hyper individualism like is, I feel like, kind of toxic masculinity, to be honest, but like I don't like subscribe to that sort of like right libertarian ideology. I mean, obviously based on everything we say, and I think that like the pandemic has made that more obvious. Like we function as a social species, and human beings survive because we work together, and if you don't, then we don't survive, and it kind of feels like sometimes that's not happening, and like we're reverting to like nasty, poor, brutish, and short, and also just the fact that our songs are just kind of nasty, poor, brutish, and short. So it was good, like double meaning in that regard.
Yeah, we got down with this song, but it's our first song.
I know what fucking words, I swear. Okay,
Here we go. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All the world is coming good. All the world is coming good. All the world is coming good. All the world is coming good.
Sacrificial workers in a pandemic down the trail. You can't budget a few months now, when someone might you kill. Feeding life to life, your feet the dragons till they're paralyzed. Need to minimize disruption, no matter what the cost.
What is the book for? It can't come alive. You won't protect yourself.
did we? We started.
Yeah, we never really
Jamming.
meant to be a
were,
band,
like,
did we?
A
Not
Halloween
really.
cover
Yeah,
band.
it was a Halloween cover show, and like another friend who played with us and isn't still like part of the group was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do a Bad Religion set?" And we didn't know each other yet.
No, not at all.
And I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to play a Bad Religion set." And then
Right, I
Evie was
didn't
like,
even live here. I came.
"Yeah, that's
That's
right.
I took the
True,
Amtrak down here to like.
That's
just
right.
like
With
a
this
show.
with this bass head in a suitcase."
Wait, you took the Amtrak? I
Yes,
didn't know you
yeah.
took the train. Dude.
Yeah.
That's
First time I saw El Paso was
The
on
Amtrak station.
That's
yeah.
What a kick-ass way to come into town, though,
It is.
man. That's really unique.
That was the time that we got sick.
Oh, we got super
at
sick.
Glassbox.
Right.
And I was just puking on
And
myself.
we were
and
like
there was
squatting.
No shower.
We were like squatting in a warehouse and just puking and diarrheaing all over
Holy
ourselves.
crap.
It was pretty
And
punk.
That was my first experience in this town.
Give me a beat, I'm fucking in there. If the battle was okay, I got to look down to the minute it's done. You can live, gonna take it like a dog. Do that again, do that again. You ought to be a man, but you're fucking stuck. Do that again, do that again. You ought to be a man, but you're fucking stuck. Give me a beat, my neck is sure. You're gonna do it every way that you're for. Reason when you're there, but never get stuck. You know, tell me that we're taking a beer. Do that again, do that again. You ought to be a man, but you're fucking stuck. Do that again, do that again. You ought to be a man, but you're fucking Give me a beer, I'm fucking in there. If the battle was okay, I got to look down to the minute it's done. You can live, gonna take it like a dog. Do that again, do that again. You ought to be a man, but you're fucking stuck. Do that again, do that again. You ought to be a man, but you're fucking stuck.
Not just music, but arts in general has always been a testament of like the times that we're current, that is contemporary to its time period.
Right.
So the art that's being put out, and in this case, music, the music post-pandemic is gonna really show like what kind of life we're experiencing, and it'll be most of the thematic. If it wasn't already like death theme, because we're now in a post-emo like era as well, now even more so, because the
Yeah.
actual death of like people like
Right.
further solidifies this whole death thing that we're going through because
I mean,
of
the younger
pandemic.
generations always joke about like suicide.
Yeah, just like not wanting to be alive anymore. But I think there's also like, so like previous generations had music that came out of like obviously the Reagan era and like the Vietnam era that was like, and it's worth noting that obviously not talking about the greater conflict, but like a lot more Americans have died of COVID than Americans died in Vietnam, and that became such a huge cultural phenomenon. And like for Americans that are experiencing it day to day, like it's kind of a more traumatic cultural event for like our generation
Yeah,
for that
I
reason.
feel like our generation isn't rising to the challenge to
That's-
protest what is going on. Like
Yeah.
we had a ridiculous president. I thought punk would have a revival. I thought
Yeah.
more people would be protesting through art and music, like things
We've
like
been dropping
this.
the ball. We haven't been doing enough
No,
ourselves
said
either. I mean, I
anything.
guess
I
sort
don't-
of,
As a
but
society, we constantly grow more and more apathetic to like, I guess, to other people, man. And it's
I wonder
like,
if we're like, if that's like naturally a thing, or if it just like has to do with people who understand sociology getting way better at like indoctrinating and making people like infight and shit like that, so they don't care about each other.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! 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 You're coming and complaining, but I'm preparing to move. I need that educated. I don't have any interest, and I don't even really care. I gotta do a thing. I'm very apathetic now. Hey! 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 You want now? And I don't even bother. I need an educated. I don't wanna hear your problem. And I don't even really care. I'm gonna do my thing.
you go through shifts of like being heavily community-based society, and then at a certain point, like it depends on who your influencers, right? Like political figures,
Right.
and in this case now,
And certainly, like, society has become way less community-based in the
Yeah.
past 40 years, honestly.
and even now, like our role models, like the people that are really like out there, like influencing people,
So many people are like Elon Musk. And,
Elon
like,
Gosh. I
what
mean,
a
on top of
douchebag.
that, there's like the increase in mental health
Yeah.
cases. Like,
Like-
I mean, I'm sure there's too many of us just preoccupied with taking care of trying
Yeah.
to take care of ourselves.
Aren't like
and we
more than
can't
half
really-
of like Gen Z like suffering from depression or something?
something
it's,
like that. But
yeah.
like even the prevalence of schizophrenia has gone up like
Mm.
10% over the past decade. Like it's getting worse.
I wonder if that's like a genetic thing or if that's like a cultural
Well,
I
I
think
mean,
it's
some of it's
society.
genetic, but also like
Yeah, I think
environmental
society is
as
like
well.
we weren't meant to live in this kind of a society. It's so like alien to us being all together. Like now we just talk through like screens and I mean, now I sound like a boomer, but like the problem is not
I mean, but
inherently
like
the
some of
technology.
this is like this is why I wrote "Getting Fired for Being Tired." It's just like you're having employers making you go through shit that's not natural. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to be doing this.
Right.
Like
That's
it's
like
just
Marx's
because it's
alienation
such
of
a-
labor. That shit's important.
Yeah.
Read Karl Marx
Yeah, man.
if you want to. So I do like how we sequenced on the EP, like going from Apathetic into Rosegarden, because I feel like they kind of blend together into like Apathetic is like, like fuck you, not necessarily fuck you, but like, whatever, I don't care, like blow everything off. And then like Rosegarden is kind of about, you do that and you don't like have any character depth essentially, and then like as a result you lose track of your friends and they stop talking to you, and then you don't have anyone to like go to and talk to. So it's kind of like cause and effect.